Greetings from here in France, and welcome back to the podcast. This is the Ygartua Art Chronicles, discovering the life, work and adventures of Paul Ygartua. In today's episode, we're talking to Joanne and Paul about two different subjects. Firstly, the Golden Cactus and Cabo San Lucas in Mexico, and then we speak about the United by Our Children mural in Ely, Nevada. Well, this time we're going south to Baja California first,
Right.
which is geographically a very strange part of the planet. It is Mexico, but you'd be forgiven to thinking it might be part of California at some point. Why don't we go back to how this started, this trip and this residency, etc., in Cabo and
Yes, it was
this part of the world. Yeah, how did this start?
The gallery from Cabo San Lucas contacted us, and were interested to represent Paul in Mexico, and of course, once again, they asked if he could do any of the native work as well.
Well, I think that's how they decided to contact me, because they saw my native works, and that would work pretty good with Mexico because of all the Mayan influence, the Incas, the Aztecs. Yeah. And so I was doing at the time a lot of Mexican subjects from New Mexico in the States, because when we were in Arizona, I was doing lots of the very colourful outfits that they wear, and their faces are incredible in the desert.
Yeah.
The faces, I mean, they just look like cracked and dried skin. Oh my God!
Well,
some of the old faces are just like
well, they do look wonderful.
Maps.
Well, those are the people out in the desert.
Wonderful faces to paint. Yeah.
But that gallery, which gallery are we talking about? The Golden Cactus.
The Golden Cactus Gallery.
Fantastic name, the Golden Cactus.
Yeah, I love that name.
Brilliant.
And we were there for about 7 to 8 years, and then they did leave Mexico. They retired, and anyways, they didn't have the gallery, so that was the.
All our gallery owners get old and retire.
Yeah, well,
that's why we're looking for young gallery owners.
Yeah, that's right. But it was quite an opportunity.
It worked good for a long while. Yeah, it was good.
And the first time we went down there. They said, okay, we're going to give you a one-man show, and we're going to advertise everywhere. And we already have people, waiting
who've seen my work,
meet
who
you.
are interested in meeting me, so that was good.
We, first of all, just sent down in the tubes. Yeah. So, that's all we do. Tubes, they stretch frame, they do their thing. So I think that was for at least a year. Yeah.
I used to take lots of canvas down there to paint, so I was painting in our room.
Yeah, but you bought there too. Remember?
I found a place where I could buy canvas as well, but it's
sure.
not quite the same quality as what we get up here. And this continued off and on, so we must have been down there quite a few times. I don't know how many.
Yeah, maybe about 5 or
6 times we went down there.
We were down for the year 2000.
Yeah, that was
New Year's.
The millennium we were down there.
The millennium, which I think we mentioned.
Took Tyler and Tom.
The university pals.
Some of his school kids came as well, and Joanne's mother. So we had quite a wild time down there.
It's a pretty groovy place for Millennium New Year, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, the lights.
Oh, there's look,
the electricity went.
It's so much fun in Mexico any time of the year. They're such fun people,
Yeah.
They like to have a good time,
Yeah.
They're very, what's the word? Alegría,
Alegría. Happiness is always
happy.
But this is what
fun people, even with no money hardly, they manage to enjoy life,
But this is what we always said. It's the Mexicans, because their music is wonderful.
Everywhere, music.
Like everywhere in the world,
and loud, which is great.
Yeah, they like it loud.
Music, so.
But everybody can dance. It can be from little kiddies to the grandparents. It doesn't matter.
And there may be, hardly anybody in there. The music's on, and you can just dance. Everybody just dances whenever they feel like it. It's not like you have to wait for
weird.
permission or anything.
Nobody's inhibited. They just... it's like freedom, actually.
A lot of freedom,
But
so it's a kind of a rich area. I mean, it's a retreat
it is,
and a holiday.
It's a rich area, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it's quite a protected area. To get from Mexico itself, they have to show identity and passports, everything. Even the Mexicans, they can't just zip in.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but to drive there, you'd have to drive all the way around the top. So no one does that, I suppose.
No. Well, no, but even if they drove, they'd have to go through the border. You know what I mean? There's an actual border for Mexicans even coming in. Yeah. Well, they're trying to keep
that's right.
poverty. They don't want everybody to be going there to beg. Otherwise.
Yeah, you
and
do.
There's hardly any begging going on in Cabo. It's only as soon as you go across to Mexico itself. Oh my gosh! Everywhere, everyone's coming up to you begging.
That's true.
Yeah, you're opposite talking about watching Narcos and stuff. You're opposite Sinaloa, so you're opposite some quite well-known bits of Guadalajara and all that. It was just over the way.
Sure.
Yeah, not far. Yeah. But there when we were there, because this is going back, of course, 20 years now, so things have probably changed a great deal. But they did have, just sort of dirt roads, but that color sort of blends in nicely, sort of a golden color, and all the locals.
Well, it's half desert. I mean, the desert meets the ocean. It's amazing actually, because you've got amazing Pacific Ocean with beaches and everything, and then you've got straight away, as soon as you get off the beach, there's desert.
Yeah.
And golf courses, nothing
but
hundreds of golf courses, famous for its golf courses.
It's funny because it reminds me of the Middle East and Dubai and places like that where beautiful sea, sand, and then kind of nothingness. And they build golf courses and they make sure that's watered, and anyone who's got money is is watering their land.
No problem with the green grass. I can afford that.
yeah. What was your subject down there then? Were you painting what was around you?
Well, I was painting mainly the influence with the natives. Bullfights from with the matadors and things, because they have a lot of bullfighting going on down in Mexico.
But there's so much subject matter from mariachi, from the beaches, the people on the beaches
the salesmen,
selling,
the people vendors,
the architecture,
marketplaces.
I mean, it's really
the police.
And what's the Cabo Rock?
The rock at the Cabo there,
El Arco.
El Arco, big arch.
With El Arco, Paul introduced his martini ladies there.
That's right.
They used to have their little glass of martini, and then
I did all sorts of styles.
Yeah, you did.
With the smaller ones, I did lots of different subject matter. But with the larger paintings that I was doing, I mainly chose characters. So they'd be like the Tarahumara natives, basically the Aztec type looks, the very Mayan faces with a lot of the subject matter. Even I picked up from Central America, from Guatemala, because they have the similar features. It's just the outfits are slightly different, but basically
South American subject people, matter. We were
And then of course I did some landscapes, not too many.
Yeah.
Abstracts, I'm not sure whether I had abstracts.
No, actually
I didn't have any abstracts down there, no.
But
because they were selling to tourists mainly.
Well, there are a lot of collectors as well for larger works.
These are not just tourists who day trippers. These are people who own apartments down there and come down to their apartments for 3 or 4 months a year. So these type of American tourists.
These are like the snowbirds in Scotland and Arizona as well. Anybody who's got money, they clear out for the winter, right?
Yeah, anybody with any money at all always looks for a place in the sun to own a home,
Yeah.
But for us, it's always wonderful to be able to use Spanish again. And, like on the beaches, I used to always think that, the people who were selling their wares, that they did them all by hand, the family. And yet, once we started talking to them, they said, oh, no, it's the factory. They only give us a little bit of money per day.
They're just basically selling the stuff. They're not working, doing it,
But then on occasion you got, maybe a young family in
the street. You do get artisans as well who are working their own things, but they usually are a little more professional with shops or some kind of a cart where they're working off,
Tell me a bit about the Hotel California. which was
around
there somewhere, wasn't
that's, it? That's Todos Santos.
Yeah. And
we actually went
owners
there, took a day trip up there with the owners of the gallery. And basically we were looking around, saw the hotel, and it was for sale. And it was for sale for $1 million.
What?
And I said to the guys, I said, geez, that would make a fantastic art studio. The location was right in the center of Todos Santos. Yeah. And it had about seven little bungalows, which were like their apartments of the hotel. And it had a big room, which was like a main sort of guest room, where people would congregate. And I said, maybe we should all buy it between a bunch of us and turn it into an art colony, Anyway.
Well, the colony is already there.
Yeah, the colony's already there, but we would be a major part of it if we
had
artist studios in there. But of course, it did sell to someone who developed it. But
I don't know.
Well, I can see it now. I can see it on Google Earth, and it's up there, and it's very well publicised.
Yeah.
And it's got
who owns it now? Someone, I'm not sure.
It's called Hotel California Todos Santos, and it's a 3-star hotel. So
they've kept it as a hotel.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's quite a fascinaning area because
it
it's
didn't have
artisans.
a pool, but to have a 3-star, they must have a swimming pool.
Well,
they must have
probably
built a pool
now.
in there. Yeah.
It's always the big people that have taken over,
sure,
right?
They can afford
so
it.
any of the big
For $1 million, it was a gift.
Yeah.
Just for the publicity alone, you could play the Eagles record all day long.
That's right. And the one restaurant they took us to was really, it's so beautiful. Their arches, just their artisan work.
Colonial architecture
their
everywhere.
Floors.
It's just amazing, yeah.
Like the owners, right, those ones, in the villa, but also the owner of the bungalows where we stayed.
Oh, yeah, he had a marvellous big home by the beach, up the coast a little bit.
And, you did a big painting for him.
That's right, we went there.
And he said we could see this pile of rocks in the middle of the floor. And he said, you see these? This will be a magnificent...
That'll be a mosaic when I come back.
Masterpiece. And
the workers are all very talented,
they're so good.
They're stonemasons.
Yeah, they
are. A lot
are.
of them build things from nothing, and this looked like a pile of rubble. And he said they're going to all piece this together like a mosaic, and it'll end up really looking interesting, almost like it'll be an piece of art.
It always is. It's
in his entrance, he wants this to be put. Yeah,
I mean they're masters. Probably hundreds of years, I guess.
It's natural talent. A lot of them, it's in their families and everything, and they're not obviously, commercially enough to make a fortune, but they still have the talent.
Well, that's it. Like the mariachi as well. It's so colorful when it's their outfits, but those big sombreros, and that follows through like with the tequila bars, where those guys have the big sombreros, and then they have the big belt.
Have a belt with little teeny tequila bottles, and they're
looking like bullets.
Before you go in, they give you a shot of tequila to warm you up and get you loose to get in there.
Doesn't take long in Mexico.
It doesn't take long in Mexico to get in the mood. And not only that, but everywhere you go, it's 2 for 1. So you get the price of one, but you get 2 drinks for the price of one.
Actually, it's pretty
so
dangerous.
happy hour lasts from about midday till about 7 or 8 at night.
But the food, is excellent quality as well.
It was.
Wherever we went, anyways.
Good,
and then we would often we'd have lunch at home because work all day and then out at night. But, that time I mentioned before where we picked up that we're not steak eaters. We prefer fish and chicken.
They have the best meat I've ever had.
From Sonora.
The Sonora cows, evidently. It's just amazing, the meat.
Yeah,
and cheap and good. You
but
can't find meat like that up here. Actually.
Yeah, but not so cheap for regular folk.
No, that's true. Not for the regular people, but for people
like it was cheap compared to North America.
American money or Canadian money, it works out cheap,
We'll take a break there and move up to Ely, Nevada to talk about Paul's 2001 mural there. The place is actually full of public art, and Paul and Joanne explain what happened in this old